This is Eyewitness News, the news leader, with Bill Ritter and Liz Cho, Scott Clark with sports, and Sam Champion with the exclusive ACCU-WEATHER forecast. Now, Eyewitness News at 11.
It's an annual New York political tradition sponsored by the Catholic Church, but this year, President Bush and Senator Kerry were not invited. However, that did not stop protesters from showing up. Plus, how to keep programs like Sex and the City in the city. New York now battling Hollywood for business. Good evening, everyone. At 11 o'clock, we begin with that controversial political dinner.
And politics wasn't the only thing causing a stir outside the hotel. Dozens of angry Catholic school teachers upset with the Archdiocese over their pay. Inside, a night of political roasting without the nation's top two political candidates. Eyewitness News reporter Charles Perez is in Midtown with details. Charles?
Well, in a perfect world, there would have been no protest on the outside and two presidential candidates on the inside. But it didn't turn out that way for this, one of the most prominent Catholic dinners in the nation.
What do we want? Contract. When do we want it?
Now. Outside, it was demonstration.
No contract, no donations.
While inside, it was a congregation of New York's elite. Ed Koch, Hillary Clinton, George Pataki, Michael Bloomberg, and more under one roof for the Alfred E. Smith Memorial Dinner, a dinner hosted by His Eminence Edward Cardinal Egan, a dinner the protesters outside say they can't afford. Catholic school teachers protesting what they say is a pay cut after a cut in benefits and a 1% raise that isn't enough to buy a seat at the table inside. And the controversy doesn't stop there. Though the dinner is not an official Archdiocese event, the dinner and the church are hard to separate. That's why this year's guest speakers are not the traditional two candidates for the White House. Kerry's position on abortion made his inclusion tough for some Catholics to stomach. In their place, former President Bush and former New York Governor Hugh Carey.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could just sing New York, New York and all go home?
In these days when there are divisions at home, in these days when there's a division abroad, let us each be a visible sign of faith, no matter our politics, no matter our religion.
Well, in the end, it all pretty much went off as planned in spite of the Catholic controversy that left these two candidates far, far away from the main event. Live in Midtown Manhattan, I'm Charles Perez, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Charles, thank you. And yes, indeed, they may have been snubbed at the Al Smith dinner, but George W. Bush and John Kerry did not stay home sulking. Kerry literally hunting for votes in Ohio. He went goose hunting for 2 hours this morning, pushing for support from more socially conservative voters. Republicans called it a stunt. Later in the day, Mr. Kerry spoke about the virtues of science and research with Dana Reeve, the wife of the late actor Christopher Reeve, by his side. Mr. Kerry heads to Wisconsin and Nevada tomorrow. Meanwhile, President Bush stumping in Pennsylvania. Before speaking to supporters in Hershey, the president held a private meeting with Philadelphia's Archbishop. The White House did not provide details of their discussion. Tomorrow, Mr. Bush will campaign again in Pennsylvania and then head to Ohio and Florida. And of course, stay with Eyewitness News and ABC News for complete coverage of Vote 2004.
And back here in our area, a suspected car thief is under arrest in Queens tonight after a chase that involved two officers being dragged by a car. Authorities say when the officers approached a driver in a stolen car in the Middle Village section, the driver grabbed one of the officers' arms and began to take off. The second officer attempted to stop him, but he also ended up being dragged about 30 feet. The suspect ditched the car, but police did catch up with him. The officers were not seriously hurt.
Another chase to tell you about. This one involved a barrage of bullets and a wild high-speed chase. It started in the Bronx, ended in Westchester County. Cops say it began when armed robbers held up a garage in Baychester. The suspects then jumped into a blue Honda and fired at police as they made their getaway. They sped north on Interstate 95. They were cornered by officers in New Rochelle after a crash. That's when they took off on foot.
They ran up on the roof and onto the tracks and onto 95. Then before you know it, about 15, 20 cop cars came down.
Police eventually caught up with 3 suspects after a brief chase. They arrested a 4th suspect a short time later.
And investigators at Queens still have many questions as to how the driver of an 18-wheeler lost control of his truck. Police say the tractor-trailer ended up at the intersection of 21st Street and Ditmars Boulevard in Astoria late this morning after slamming into at least 8 cars and several light posts. At least 3 people were injured in the accident.
It was the last building at Ground Zero to fall on September 11th, and tonight it has become the first building in the reconstruction to reach its full height. The last steel beam of the new 7 World Trade Center hoisted onto place this afternoon. The 52-story office tower is being built just north of where the Twin Towers once stood. On hand today, Governor Pataki, Mayor Bloomberg. It was for the topping off ceremony. Officials claim 7 World Trade will set the standard as the, quote, safest building in America. And speaking of developments, a first look tonight at some of the plans literally on the table for Newark's new hockey arena. 3 architecture firms submitting their ideas and presenting them tonight to the New Jersey Performing Arts Center. The $310 million, 18,000-seat arena would be the home, the new home of the New Jersey Devils. The entire complex will also include offices and housing and shopping. Officials hope to have it completed by the 2007-2008 hockey season.
Now to the Yankees, and for many fans, their historic loss to the Red Sox has been hard to take, and making it worse, Mickey Mantle's restaurant in Midtown serving up a big diss to fans by renaming it after Sox great Ted Williams. Eyewitness News reporter Jim Dolan is there with the story. Jim?
Yeah, Liz, you know, Yankee fans are a gracious group. When I came into work today, I sought out the one Red Sox fan in our newsroom, and I said, "Go Sox." I didn't mean it, but I said it. But the owner of Mickey Mantle's apparently really does mean it, because during the duration of the World Series, he is renaming Mickey Mantle's Ted Williams after the great Red Sox hitter. That's right, the great Red Sox hitter. It's a good... I'm sorry, did you hear that? Well, don't worry. It's just the sound of Mickey Mantle turning over in his grave. There is no place outside the Bronx more deeply rooted in all things Yankee than Mickey Mantle's, named, of course, for the greatest bomber to ever patrol center field.
Red Sox fans in the past were actually afraid to come in here. I'd sit out front in the summer and I watch people with Red Sox caps saying, "We can't go into Mickey's, that's a Yankee place."
Ah, those were the good old days. Now, though, the owner is changing, temporarily, the name of his bar to pay tribute not to Mickey Mantle or another great Yankee, but to the greatest Red Sox player ever.
I think a true Yankee fan really respects what the Red Sox did this year. I mean, they came from 3-0 down. They never beat the Yankees. It's like a large weight off their shoulders, and I think they appreciate it as well. I think everybody's on board with this.
Yeah, well, dream on. The bartender here is a Yankee fan, and when we told him the owner was going to make him wear a Red Sox cap during the World Series...
I quit before I did that.
You're fired then.
That is a Yankee fan. Still, not everybody here is quite that committed.
Yeah, he's on his own. I'm not there.
It is, of course, aimed more not at Yankee fans, but at Red Sox fans who happen to be in New York during the World Series, like Mike Grimes.
I think that's a great idea. I think it's a fantastic idea. Pay some respect to the Red Sox here.
Who deserve it.
Yeah, sure.
Quite a great series.
They sure did. 4 games worth.
Yeah, that's
4 straight games.
And Mike, thanks for reminding me, because my headache had just about gone away. By the way, we should say that the owner of this restaurant claims he promises this is not just a cheap marketing ploy designed to get Red Sox fans into his bar during the World Series. And I suppose it's possible, unlikely, that could be true. Reporting live from Central Park South, Jim Dolan, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Jim, thank you. Well, no, it is not for Halloween or the upcoming holidays. The story behind the flashy new stop signs on some local roads when we come back in 60 seconds.
Diamonds, the gift she really wants. The Jewelry Factory has thousands of diamonds, most with GIA or EGL certs, laser inscribed and guaranteed the lowest price. The Jewelry Factory has thousands of mountings, and your diamond is set while you wait. 1-carat solitaires are $5.99. Marquise solitaires are $3.99, and 1-carat studs are $3.99. The Jewelry Factory carries most shapes and sizes, including 5 carats and above. You can't beat our deals. Buy Factory Direct and Save, the Jewelry Factory in Hackensack.
Just when you thought you'd seen it all. The 6100 on 04 PT Cruiser, America's hottest products, are at your Chrysler dealer.
You see them all the time on those endless rural highways. Blinking stop signs warning drivers of what's ahead. Well, now an experiment on Staten Island. More than a dozen stop signs, solar-powered and blinking at dangerous intersections in the hopes of cutting accidents. Jeff Pegues in the St. George section for us tonight with a story. Jeff?
Bill, how many people out there have used this excuse in the past with law enforcement? Officer, I didn't see the sign. That excuse won't work with this blinking stop sign behind me. It's part of a traffic experiment here in Staten Island.
Yeah, it catches my attention.
You can't miss the new attraction at Stuyvesant Place and Hyatt Street. Right across from Staten Island's Borough Hall is this new type of stop sign. Forget the old stop sign that you can't see because it's obstructed by a tree. This flashes, and it just may be the future.
I think it's nice, especially with Christmas coming around.
But this is not about the holidays. Borough President James Molinaro tells me it's all about traffic safety, cutting down on accidents.
This will raise the awareness of the stop sign to the driver, and also it will add protection to the pedestrian crossing the street.
Some pedestrians say they love the idea of the flashing stop sign. See this panel? The sign is actually powered by the sun.
Honestly, you can see this thing from 10 miles away.
10 miles?
No, maybe 1.
Even that's an exaggeration, though visibility is increased, which is why there will be more of these signs popping up around Staten Island at 9 intersections. The old stop signs cost about $100. The blinking ones, $700. How do you afford it?
If you save one human life, they're very cheap.
You don't think it's worth it?
I don't think a stop sign is worth $100, let alone $700.
You're getting a kick out of this stop sign, aren't you?
Christmas in October.
This is not a joke at all for the borough president. He's quite serious about this. He believes these blinking stop signs across the area will help save lives. That's why he's earmarked about $300,000 for some of those blinking stop signs across the area. There are actually about 4,000 stop signs across the borough. To replace all of them, it would cost $4 million. Don't expect that to happen anytime soon. We're live in the St. George section of Staten Island. I'm Jeff Pegues, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Well, there's important information for those looking for a flu shot. The makers of Flu Mist nasal spray will produce an additional 1 million doses. However, it will not be available until January. Meanwhile, officials in Bloomfield, New Jersey are holding a lottery to handle the vaccine shortage. More than 1,100 people registered today for a shot at getting the vaccine. The town has 300 doses available. Only those considered high risk of getting the flu are eligible for the lottery.
As we continue on this Thursday night, the fight to keep cameras rolling in New York City. From The Sopranos to feature films, how the Big Apple is opening its wallet and battling to keep its star power.
And we've been on the hunt all week long for a little bit of sunshine in this damp and dreary week. We'll continue the hunt in your forecast. It's on its way.
Menopause. It's more than hot flashes and mood swings. It's about gaining weight in places we never gained weight before. As we approach and enter menopause, our bodies undergo dramatic physical and emotional changes that make losing weight more difficult each and every day. But now there's Estrin D, the first diet pill specifically developed to overcome menopausal and premenopausal weight gain. Not only will Estrin D help balance hormonal changes so you feel great, Estrin D also increases resting metabolic rate, automatically reduces caloric intake, and provides the energy you need to get through the day. With Estrin D, losing weight is easy again. Estrin D, the first and only diet pill specifically developed to help menopausal and premenopausal women lose weight. Estrin D will change your life. Guaranteed.
Call in the next 15 minutes and find out how you can receive a 1-month supply of Estrin D absolutely free. Call 1-800-429-4225. That's 1-800-429-4225.
New York City is only second to Los Angeles for TV and film production in this country, but more and more the city is losing those jobs to other countries, proving too good for producers to resist. But as Eyewitness News reporter Charles Perez reports, the city is now offering new incentives to lure Hollywood and its jobs back.
Silver Cup Studios, a little bit of Hollywood right in the Big Apple. HBO's Sex and the City, The Sopranos, and ABC's Hope and Faith among the many productions shot here in the 400,000 square foot facility. all contributing to New York City's $5 billion entertainment production industry.
I got it! And the lady said out of 1,000 applicants, I was the best.
Increasingly, however, New York City's been losing the battle of the bottom line, as tighter production costs here have forced producers to go elsewhere to get the job done, taking a toll on one of New York's major industries.
They come to New York for the beauty shots, the location shots, and they'll do their studio work in Canada or South Africa or Romania, where it's a lot cheaper.
There's about 100,000 freelancers who work in the production industry, and a great deal of them were out of work. Some of them have left the city. It's been a major, major problem.
Stuart Suna and his brother Alan run Silver Cup Studios. They work with other members of the industry and the state to try and solve the problem. They hope a new law will do it. It provides $100 million in tax cuts for TV and film production in New York State. Productions get a 10% tax credit. New York City may add another 5% as well. For producers like Emile Levisetti of ABC's Hope and Faith, any little bit helps.
Well, when you add up the cost of one episode times 25 episodes we shot last year, and so you take 10% of an episode budget, multiply it by times 25 over a year, it does add up.
This legislation is powerful, and it's really going to have a fabulous impact on New York.
They estimate it will save an average TV production $3 million a year, which will hopefully help bring the movie and TV business back to New York City. I'm Charles Perez, ABC's Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Few people know that, but Sam shoots his 5-day forecast here in New York City. Does not outsource it at all.
It's live right here in New York City. Yeah.
It's true.
I think everybody knows that, Bill. Because from here, we just walk over to the wall, which is right there. We don't travel anywhere.
It's make-believe.
Yeah. This is what it looks like outside our doors. We've got some cloudy skies still around tonight. As a matter of fact, there's a good punch of moisture that's moving through central New Jersey right now. How will we show you that? Well, AccuTrack's the best way to see it. This has kind of been moving in from the Pennsylvania region for a good part of the day today, and kind of increasing in strength as it moved through. So showers and a bit more than the rain showers that are moving through central Pennsylvania. There'll actually be some heavier rain that drives with it across most of New Jersey. Now, you're going to sweep that directly east, so it is going to affect even coastal New Jersey, and parts of Long Island, even Connecticut, are seeing some showers this hour. Here's the deal in trying to pull some drier air in. We need one big system to kind of pull everything together. So we're counting on this offshore low that's developing off the coast tonight to kind of keep the rain offshore. It will chop up the water a bit, but it should also help deliver some drier air from the north back off to the west. For tomorrow, it's kind of an outside edge hope, like it has been every day this week. But for the following day, it looks like we can get some drier air and actually break up some of those clouds and begin to change the pattern around here. 44, 43 degrees in extreme northern areas like Syracuse and Albany. That's where the cold air is. 52 in LaGuardia right now. Outside our doors, 51 degrees. Relative humidity at 77%. The barometer rising at this point. A little area of high pressure that's parked up to our north is still strong enough to kick some changes, but not to hold the rain away. Calm winds, 54 degrees, the top number on the day. Looking for 39 to 42 in northern areas, 45, 46 right through the middle of the region. Stays cloudy and damp again tonight, and that punch of rain just cruises right through New Jersey, right off into the Atlantic. So I think tomorrow morning it's likely skies are a bit damp, and they could also be a bit foggy for your start. 53, 54 degrees in the Hudson Valley for high temperatures tomorrow, only going in the mid-50s in places that will get warmer than that. Most of the clouds and showers held to the north of us today. All of that around that revolving area of low pressure that's being pushed out by a small high. But look at the showers that are in Pennsylvania. That's how we know for the next couple of hours, and how we knew earlier tonight when we were telling you that there would be some showers across the area. Well, they're there, and they're still back there, and they're kind of deepening a bit, so expect them over the next couple of hours and through the early morning hours. Damp and cool overnight tonight. For the day tomorrow, some early clouds still, and yeah, on that outside shot there might be a break of sunshine in the afternoon. Maybe. We'll look for it. 56 degrees on that. Cloudy and damp and early chill at 46 degrees tomorrow. 56, the best we can do for you on a high. We're still trying to be optimistic with the sunny break, so hopefully one or two will pop up tomorrow, but the damp side is early in the day for sure. Partly cloudy, a breezy night tomorrow night at 48 degrees. That lets you know the cool air is still around. And if we can get this pattern to really unblock and kind of pull some milder air in here, we think it will. And that happens Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and really on into Wednesday, where the temperatures will be in the 60s and drier air, particularly starting Monday.
Okay.
I like that. Thanks, Sam.
Hey, it's that magic time for tonight's winning New York lottery numbers.
And for those of you holding New Jersey tickets, here are your winning lottery numbers. And now tonight's live drawing of Take 5.
Good evening, I'm Alexandra Burley. Welcome to Thursday, October 21st, Take 5 drawing being observed by an auditor from KPMG. Tonight's winning Take 5 numbers are 16, 28, 9, 38, and 21. Tomorrow's Mega Millions jackpot is $40 million. Have a great night.
New Jersey, Connecticut Lexus dealer.
Closed captioning provided by your Lexus dealers.
Life is good. Now all I need is someone to share it with. That's why I use TangoPersonals.com. It's the best way to meet local women who are serious about dating. That's how Sean met Nicole. Tango lets you browse web profiles, and with your phone, you can listen to voice ads, exchange messages, or have private conversations. Sean and Nicole knew they were right for each other. That's why I go to TangoPersonals.com. Go try it now, for free.
Now you can meet on the phone and on the web. TangoPersonals.com.
There's some new research tonight suggesting a negative link between your weight and your ability to have children. Danish researchers say they found lower sperm quality in both overweight men and in men who are too thin. Study says too much weight or not enough can affect a man's ability to produce the female hormone estrogen, which in the right amount is necessary for reproduction. And another study from Beth Israel in Boston finding that women who are overweight can have problems conceiving naturally because they have irregular periods and lower ovulation rates.
Britain's Prince Harry caught in a bit of a scuffle with paparazzi. Prince Charles's youngest son was caught on camera leaving a London nightclub this morning when there was a disagreement with a photographer waiting outside. Prince Harry apparently cut the photographer's lip after pushing a camera away. A royal family spokesman says Harry was first hit in the face by a camera, but the injured photographer says he did nothing to provoke the young prince and is now considering filing a formal complaint.
2 months after an Olympic gold medal was draped around Paul Hamm's neck in Athens, tonight the American gymnast finally can call it his own. Sport's highest court rejecting an appeal from a South Korean gymnast, ruling Hamm is the rightful champion in the men's all-round competition. The Korean athlete claimed a scoring error cost him the gold, but the Court of Arbitration for Sport ruling his protest was submitted too late. Today's verdict is final, and it cannot be appealed.
Still say they should have just given 2 gold medals, one to the South Korean, one to Hamm, and let it be. Well, we're going to be seeing red in the World Series, a lot of it. Coming up on Eyewitness News, it's the St. Louis Redbirds versus the Boston Red Sox. And we have some final thoughts from the Bronx Bombers 24 hours after their playoff elimination. Next.
If you carry this card, you'll want this card. The AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan card. Even with Medicare, you could still pay nearly half of your medical bills out of your own pocket. If you're 65 or over, this card can help pay for what Medicare doesn't. This is one powerful card. It represents the only Medicare supplement plan endorsed by AARP. Why an AARP Medicare Supplement Plan? Because you can keep your own doctors without any referrals and no claim forms. Prescription drug coverage is available, and AARP group rates are competitively priced. Call to get free information about these plans underwritten by United Healthcare Insurance Company. There's no obligation, and it's easy to change to an AARP plan. Call now and you'll also get this free booklet. Call now even if you're not an AARP member yet, and join more than 2 million members enjoying the benefits of this powerful card. Call now.
It's full redness.
Yes, it is.
Series.
Yes. The Yankees are still seeing red, too. And the World Series is going to see a lot of it. The Cardinals are headed to the World Series to meet the Red Sox. They wrapped it up in Game 7 tonight, and they had to go through Roger Clemens to do it in St. Louis. The defensive gem of the game came in the second inning. Brad Ausmus hits a drive to left center. Watch Jim Edmonds here. Full spread out, makes the catch. Still, the Cardinals trailed 2-1 when Albert Pujols connected off Clemens down the line. Roger Cedeno scores. The former Met made it 2-2, and the next batter, Scott Rowland, took the rocket deep. Gone. 2-run home run, 4-2 Cardinals. It was 5-2 in the ninth when the Cardinals closer, Jason Isringhausen, got the final out. On a ground ball, the Cardinals win 5-2 in Game 7 over Houston. They are headed to the World Series. As for the Yankees, 26 World Championships to the name, but none in the past 4 years, and today the Yanks made one more trip to Yankee Stadium.
There was not a happy face to be found at Yankee Stadium today as the beleaguered Bombers cleaned out their lockers. No excuses either. Boston was the better team, period.
Yeah, we had opportunities and didn't cash in, and they did. You know, it's as simple as that.
It just didn't work for us this time. Hopefully next time it will, and we'll be victorious.
But the sting is still there. A Yankees pennant seemed a foregone conclusion after the Red Sox had dropped the first 3 games of this 7-game set. But then Boston's historic comeback began, and by the time the smoke cleared last night, the unthinkable had happened. The Red Sox had toppled the almighty Yankees. Series over, season over, and the reality is just setting in.
I mean, a loss is a loss, but it's obviously not fun, especially as intense as this rivalry is. It's fun to be a part of, but, this is no fun losing.
And so now the questions begin. Most importantly, how will the boss handle the most devastating of losses? Today, George Steinbrenner issued the following statement, and we quote, "I congratulate the Boston Red Sox on their great victory, and I want to thank our loyal fans for their enormous support. Of course, I am disappointed because I wanted a championship for them and for our city. You can be assured we will get to work and produce a great team next year." End quote. Sounds warm and fuzzy, but when the boss loses, some heads are sure to roll. Here's General Manager Brian Cashman.
Well, what about your future? Planning on staying or?
Yeah, I'm signed through next year, and unless told otherwise, I intend to again try to make the best decisions possible, and hopefully we're better for them.
For now, Cashman's job is safe. That coming from the lips of Steinbrenner himself today. But for others, the end could be near. As for the Boston Red Sox, a run at their first championship since 1918 is just beginning. Preparations already underway today at Fenway Park for Game 1 versus the Cardinals Saturday night. How about some hoops? The Knicks playing some exhibition basketball tonight, deep in the heart of Texas, in Dallas, where head coach Don Nelson, the former Knicks coach, sent his Mavericks out against the Knicks. Here he is. And coming up is Jamal Crawford. He can shoot, and he does. Later, Stephon Marbury with a drive in the dish to Nazr Mohammed. Nice and pretty there, but the Mavericks just rolled all over them. Inside here to Eric Dampier. Dallas beat the Knicks up. The final was 112-74, but remember, this is only an exhibition. Wow. I'm Scott Clark, and that's it for sports, folks. Thanks, Scotty.
Thanks, Scotty. We'll be right back.
My name's Andy McDonald. I ride this useless wooden toy for a living. It's hard. I've been doing it for 13 years. I'm still lame. I do a trick called a 540. Took me a good 6 years to learn. There's a whole generation of skateboarders out there that are just as talented athletically as any basketball or football player. It takes somebody that's not going to be afraid to fall down a lot, because you definitely will fall down. You're not a failure until you refuse to get back up. Drugs are only going to hinder what I'm trying to do. That right there is my idea of getting high.
It's time for the Jeep model year-end clearance.
Sam has always wanted a car that does this, and finally they built one. No, seriously, this is just a rollout for the folks from Jeep. They unveiled their 2005 Grand Cherokee in Midtown today in a rather unconventional way.
Yes, to show the vehicle can go anywhere and do anything, the Jeep scaled a 30-story building in Midtown. At the top, its very own parking spot. Actually, a crane and pulley made the stunt possible. Yes, there you go. So obviously, don't try it at home.
Oh, really? We shouldn't try that at home?
You think?
I was going to.
That is the news for now. I'm Liz Cho.
I'm Bill Ritter. Nightline is up next. Eyewitness News returns tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. For all of us here, Scott, Sam, the whole team, have a great night.